Congress is back at work this morning, and Democrats are facing fallout from sexual harassment claims against two prominent lawmakers. The longest-serving current members of Congress, John Conyers, gave up his role as senior Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. And Senator Al Franken is talking at length about the accusations from four different women.
The Minnesota Democrat ended 8 days of silence by speaking to our Minneapolis station WCCO. He says he's embarrassed and ashamed. Talk radio news anchor Leanne Tweeden says Franken forcibly kissed and groped her during a USO tour in 2006. He apologized for a photo showing him touching her, but says he remembers the kissing incident differently.
Three other women say Franken groped them while posing for photos. The Senate Ethics Committee is investigating the claims. WCCO reporter Esme Murphy is here this morning after talking to Franken. Here is part of their conversation.
Have you ever placed a hand on some woman's butt?
You know, I can't say that that hasn't happened. I take thousands and thousands of pictures. We sometimes in crowded and chaotic situations. I can't say I haven't done that, and I am very sorry if these women experience that, and I have to say that I have to be a lot more sensitive and a lot more careful in these when I take a picture, when I meet someone, and I'm going to make sure that this does not happen again.
Can you really continue to claim kind of a moral high ground on some of these issues, including the Trump-Russia investigation, when a lot of people feel you've been less than transparent about these particular allegations?
Well, I think I'm a good questioner. I think that the questions that I'm asking don't go to my credibility. They go to the credibility of the witness. They go to the credibility.
But hasn't your credibility been undermined?
I would say yes, and I have a long way back. I have a long way back to win back the trust of the people of Minnesota. I've let people down. I've let the people of Minnesota down. I've let my friends and staff and supporters down, my family down.
Esme Murphy is with us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know you've known the senator for a long time as a prominent Minnesota reporter. How did you judge his apology? Well,
I do think he is genuinely anguished. There's no question about that. I do think that there is a problem here because he says he still does not remember these four incidents, these four separate claims from these women. And again, I pressed him on that. I think if you grab somebody's butt cheeks, as one of the women described it, you're going to remember it.
Did that surprise you that he said he didn't remember?
Well, that's what he's been saying, but I think a lot of people will look at him, Gayle, as somebody, this is a very smart man, and say, how could you not remember? This is a man who really prides himself on a lot of details. He insists he doesn't.
He says he has a long way to go to regain the trust of Minnesota voters, and he will work very hard to do that. What are they saying in Minnesota about Senator Franken?
You know, Gayle, I actually thought about something that you said last week in the aftermath of the Charlie Rose allegations, where you said, how do you wrap your head around it when somebody you care about does something that's bad? And that for his supporters, I think that's where they're at right now. There is a group of 65 prominent Democratic women who came out yesterday and said they support him. That is a big deal.
And he said he has no intention to resign, right?
He has absolutely no intention to resign.
And what about the allegations that he may have touched someone's back during a picture? Having been a political reporter, I see many times these politicians, they pose for thousands and thousands of pictures.
Right, and there's a difference. There's a difference between having a hand around somebody and grabbing their buttocks, and the statements from the three women who are claiming that are remarkably similar, and that is a problem. And he acknowledged, actually, in that interview that it's possible he could have done it.
Can he survive this, yes or no, do you think?
You know, I think at this point, especially with those 65 Democratic women coming forward, 14 staffers, including some that had very prominent positions in his office, are supporting him. 35 people from Saturday Night Live, women, have signed a letter saying that. At this point, yes. If other things come out, though, I think there's a problem.
Right. Esme Murphy, thank you very much for coming in this morning.
Absolutely.
Nice to have you at the table.